Mucha atención.
America's mother once told me that children who didn't know her daughter would be frightened at the sight of her, and some would run away crying. America Alcántara, who just turned 8 years old, has Crouzon syndrome. It's a genetic birth defect that causes deformities to the face and the skull, and doctors were very concerned about her vision loss. America also suffered from hearing loss. They wanted to fix her breathing problems, and her mother wanted her to look like other kids.
I first met America about a year ago during our Season for Caring campaign, and then all I saw was this incredibly shy little girl.
It was their exposure through Season for Caring that got the attention of doctors at Dell Children's Medical Center, who offered America the chance to be the first child at their hospital to have the surgery to correct a condition of her kind.
Good. Perfect. And this gives your arm a little hug, okay? Little hug.
As you can imagine, any kid, any age, she was just petrified of going into surgery. I think she didn't really know what she was in for, even though everyone was nice to her. You could tell she was just so anxious and afraid.
Her mother was nervous, but she would not have been able to tell that from looking at Miss Alcantara. She did everything she could to comfort America.
She was just there for her daughter. Nothing else really mattered. As soon as she got her daughter through the double metal doors into surgery, you could just see this relief.
So part of our goal really is to perform a pretty big operation. What we have to do is separate the bones of her forehead, her nose, and her upper jaw, and really pull them forward.
Bring them forward and position them correctly so that they're in the appropriate position so that she can close her eyes and protect her corneas, reduce the amount of pressure within the skull, and at the same time help her heal in the appropriate position, a stable position, so that the effects of the surgery endure over time.
The surgery went on for 9 hours. The doctors knew almost immediately that the surgery was successful. She was in the hospital for more than a month. Her mother slept at her feet, curled up. America wouldn't let her sleep on the couch in the room. She wanted her right by her. On July the 8th, America went home from the hospital, but she had a huge halo bolted to her skull to continue to move her head forward and to continue correcting her bite.
She couldn't really go out and play because of this halo, for fear of tripping and falling and damaging herself even more. I'd spent an afternoon with her at home, and she was just so excited to have visitors, because I think a lot of it was just the boredom of, recuperating. There were a couple of portraits on the wall, and she climbed up on the couch and pulled one off the wall and sat down and kind of looked me square in the eyes, which was probably one of the few times she ever looked me right in the face, because before that she would just revert her eyes or hide behind someone.
The doctors had great admiration for Miss Alcantara. She was a great nurse to her daughter at home. Every day she had to tighten the bolt on her daughter's halo, even though she was scared to do it at first. When school started, of course, America wanted to go back to school and see her friends. She's very social. She's very loved at school. But again, because of the risk of damage to the halo and the fact that she still had a tracheostomy, her mother decided to homeschool with a visiting teacher.
Everybody to class, I only have 5th grade. Todos a la clase en menos 5 grados.
She was so anxious to get back to school that she asked permission to go for half a day just so she could see her classmates and her teacher. And they knocked lightly on the door, and the little doorkeeper who opened it just happened to be her best friend from the year before, Sarai. It was pretty emotional.
Bienvenidos!
And they showed her where her seat was, and she became an instant member of the class.
¿Has leído América? ¿Sí? Okay.
It wasn't until a week or so after that she was able to go back full-time.
The first real day of school came on November the 5th.
It just so happened that was picture day retake. And she figured it out right away, where to stand, where to look, how to look.
America, can you look right here? There's a big pretty smile. There we go.
You could tell she just had this whole new confidence.
She was so used to hiding behind her mother, scared of what kind of reaction she might provoke in somebody. But here she stood, all by herself, and proud. And it was a lovely moment.